I think for a very long time, the way I have been viewing life, the way I have been viewing success and what matters has been completely wrong. I am 24, and I felt like, especially last year when I did turn 24, I felt like I had everything figured out. I was like, okay, I think I am kind of starting to understand this life thing and what I need to do in order to live a successful and a happy life. But oh my gosh, the more I start to learn, the more I realize I actually have no clue what the heck is going on here. I think life and the universe have a very funny way of making us laugh at ourselves when you think you know what's going on, when you think you have everything figured out. It comes and it throws a little curveball at you to make you question yourself and what you know. And I think I have oftentimes been in the mindset of, if something doesn't work out the way that I want it to, it was a waste of time. If a friendship or a relationship ends, it was useless and I didn't learn anything. Or if I didn't get to a certain accolade in a certain amount of time, then I must be doing something wrong. And I'm really trying to get out of this mindset. But then I saw this video by this creator that I will paste here. I saw this video that discusses that if the goal of life is to experience, then everything is a win. Good, bad, upsetting, life changing, mundane, whatever it is, if the goal is to experience, then it's worth it. And I'm trying to reframe my mindset around this. I'm trying to, I think, tackle life as just with the idea that we are here as humans experiencing life, and how lucky am I that I am in a position where I am privileged enough to be able to experience so many different emotions on such a wide scale so intensely. I often like to think about, okay, when I reach such and such age, let's say, like, when I reach 80 years old, what will I be able to say about my life? I don't think I want to be able to say that when I get to 80, my entire life was easy and nothing was ever challenging, and I always knew what was going on and I always had it figured out, and I never questioned myself or my beliefs or went back on my word sometimes or messed up and made a mistake or whatever that is. Because I think what the beauty of life is that we are constantly learning and that we are constantly experiencing. But I do think you have to be intentional about that. Otherwise, you might not be able to see, different circumstances in that light. Hi, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I love to discuss all things about self-improvement, self-love, just kind of navigating this life journey together. So if you have been liking my content, or if you like my content and you're new, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, talk to me. I love to chat. Lately, I have been pondering on the idea that life is about experiences, and it is about learning about yourself, and the more you go through, good or bad, the more you are able to learn about yourself. And I think this is such an important mindset to, I think, reframe into, because there's a lot of factors in life that we cannot control. Yes, we can control a lot of them, but there are still some portions that we have no control over. And I think instead of letting life happen to us and feeling sorry for ourselves constantly when things don't work out in the way that we thought they would or the way that we wanted them to, I think it is so much more helpful to us and to our journey to be able to think about what we can take from every single experience, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you are heartbroken, whether you are ecstatic, whatever it is. I think it's so beautiful for us to be able to look at our situations and think, okay, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about life? Maybe what new perspectives am I now considering that I didn't think about before? If you are trying to live a good life, if you are trying to live a full life, I think it's important for us to just start looking at the experiences as the wins, as opposed to actual accolades. With the new year starting, I have been asking myself, what is the goal? And I think that's such an important question for us to reflect on. What is the goal for anything? For example, if you are deciding to start a new business venture, why are you starting this? Are you starting something new because you think it's good to have a business, or are you starting something new because something in your heart is asking you to put something new into the world? Maybe you want to help people. Maybe you want to create a system or a product that you believe will improve other people's lives. I think when January comes or a new year comes or some sort of like transition or rebirth situation happens, we're often in the mindset of, okay, let me list out all of my goals and what I want to work on and yada, 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 which I think is so great. But I think sometimes when this does happen, at least for me, I can often get stuck in, I think, autopilot mode where I'm like, okay, just like go, 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 go. These are the goals that I want to hit. This is a certain amount of money I want to make. These are the friendships I want to have. These are the experiences I want to have, which is all lovely. But I think the more important focus should be diving into why we want to experience these things in the first place, why we want to achieve these things in the first place. So again, like if you are starting a new business venture, if you want to start a new fitness journey, ask yourself why you want to do that. And on the flip side, ask yourself the same thing. If you have always been doing something, ask yourself why you want to continue doing it. Like, is your heart still in it? For example, I have always, I think my identity for a really long time, and even still now, has been rooted in me being in media, me using my voice to storytell and connect with others. I think a lot of that has been the big shape, I guess, for how I view myself, and why I engage in certain activities. And I think right now, what I'm trying to do is reflect on, is this exactly what I want to do? And yes, it still is, but just kind of refining those specific moments. For example, I am a producer and I am a host as well. And as much as I love producing, especially because I am working on my own talk show called Control Alt Beat, I love it so much. But I think this year I want to be on the camera more. I think I ended up falling into a lot of production and a lot of producing last year, which was so fun, and I learned so much, not only about production and about myself, but I had to sit down for a second and think, okay, this is lovely and great, but if I continue just producing people's projects randomly, in 5 years, am I going to be happy with where I'm at? Maybe not. Maybe not. I think my true love is to be on camera and to be able to connect with people. It might sound vain, but I genuinely, it brings me joy. It brings me so much happiness, and I think I do have a talent for it. Um, yeah, I think right now what I've been thinking about is just not being trapped in identity and how we like view our identity, and just constantly reflecting, even every quarter, like my systems that I'm using right now, what I'm putting in effort to, what I'm working towards. Do these goals still align? And not being scared to pivot and not getting stuck in this sunk cost fallacy where you feel like you've put so much time and effort into something that it only makes sense for you to just continue down that path. So don't get trapped in identity. I have also been thinking a lot about how I measure success in my life. And whew, I am still navigating this, so I don't know if I even have a concrete answer or reflection. But what I think I have done for a long time is measured my success based off of, number one, I think it's how people perceive me and if I am liked. And I still do this to this day and I'm working on it. But a lot of my success has been, okay, can I make people feel good? Do they like to be around me? I also have measured my success in the past based off of things that I've been able to achieve. Did I get this award? Did I make it into this program? Did I successfully output all of the things that I said I would do? For example, did I do as many YouTube videos as I said I wanted to do? Did I produce as many episodes for my talk show as I said I was going to? That, I think, a lot of my success is rooted in, or how well my things do. So if I post a photo on social media, if a lot of people like it, I would base my success and happiness in that. Or if people really resonated with my content, I would put my success in that as well. But I think that is such a trap because a lot of those factors we cannot control, and I don't think it's conducive for us to our growth in general as people to put our happiness and our faith into other people or external factors. I don't want my day and my happiness to be contingent on whether someone likes me or not, or whether someone likes my video or not, or whether someone deems me worthy of receiving certain awards or accolades or titles. I would even measure success with relationships and people, like platonic or romantic, based off of how long they've lasted. And I still do this to this day, which I still think, there is some merit to that. But I think it's also important to reflect on, what did I learn from this person or these people? How has this changed me as a person for the better? How am I now navigating life with this new experience and these new lessons that I've learned? I think that is so successful, because I think the most terrifying thing is to blink and think that to think that I could be the same exact person that I am now in 5 years with no growth. That to me is the scariest thing. I think to me that is unsuccessful. That to me is like a failure. If I go through life and I experience all of these things and I try new things and I put myself out there and I still end up being the same person at the end of the day, that to me is the biggest failure. So instead of basing your success and your happiness and your achievements on things that you can count, monetary reasons or accolades, as I have mentioned, ask yourself, wait, what, like, how has this changed me as a person for the better? How am I going into my best self? How am I growing into my best self? Those are really important questions you can ask yourself. Because I will say, I think my 16-year-old self would be very freaking proud of who I am today, regardless of, where I currently am in life. Okay, another, I guess, factor that I am considering and reflecting on is not feeling things deeply and having a lot of emotions or intense emotions is a negative thing. I find that I can have like really, really high peaks and be very happy and cry tears of joy for that, and also feel really, really low lows to the point where like I'm feeling sadness or whatever it is in my body and it's impacting me. And I don't love that. I'm not gonna lie. Again, these are still like things that I am reflecting on currently and I'm navigating through. I don't love it. I don't love it, but I do pause sometimes and say, you know what? I think it's important and I think it's great that I'm able to feel things so intensely, because the opposite could mean that I am depressed and I don't feel anything at all. And I don't think that's a very happy, positive place to be in. And even if experiences frig me up sometimes and make me really mad or really sad, or I get disappointed in myself or I feel guilty or whatever it is, at least I'm feeling something. At least I am privileged enough to be in a space where I can think about even having intense emotions and I'm not considering, okay, like, how am I going to like find my next meal? Where is my money coming from? You know what I mean? Where am I going to live? Like, I don't even have to worry about those things. And I think that's a privilege that a lot of us are afforded, that we don't necessarily think about or reflect on. Yeah. I've also been telling myself lately to pick up flowers along the way from different areas in my life. So, for example, for me, one of my goals right now, obviously, is to produce an entire season from the talk show that I'm working on this year. And it's going to be a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's going to be a challenge. But instead of putting the joy and happiness into whether I get all of these episodes done successfully, I think a lot of the beauty, a lot of the process that I am trying to lean into is, what does the everyday look like? Having calls with my friend and co-producing partner about what we want for ourselves for this show, or talking to other people about what they are looking for in media in general, like just like being part of the process. If you don't want to think about it career wise, maybe think about your friendships. Like, I try my best to be present when I am with my friends, and just, I don't know, I find so much joy in the like right now, and the fact that we will call each other on a random day, check in with how we're doing, or how we'll show up for each other when one of us is feeling sad. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a lot of the beauty in life and these experiences. When I was doing 75 Hard, I was irritated sometimes, a lot of the time, with a lot of the work that I had to do, but I tried to find beauty in those like nighttime walks that I would do, while I would like listen to music or listen to a podcast. Like, that to me felt like a tiny win where I was able to give back to myself. So just, not waiting on the big final product to be beautifully packaged, wrapped with a bow to feel success or to feel happiness or to give yourself flowers, but giving yourself flowers along the way as you go through these different experiences. So when I do reach 80 years old, hopefully I get there, or whatever age, and I get older, I want to be able to say that I have lived a full life. I want to say that I have loved, I have lost, I have been betrayed, I have chased after my dreams, I have felt true love. I want to be able to say all of those things because I think all of our experiences, good or bad, are what make us who we are. They are what provide us with wisdom and knowledge. And, going through it isn't the best sometimes, but I think on the other end, being able to say that I have lived and I have experienced all of these different things, I think is so beautiful. When I talk to my grandmother and I hear about her stories, good or bad, or her challenges, and where she is today, I feel so happy for her, and I think it's beautiful. I mean, I think she's very happy with her life and how it turned out, and you can't always see where you're going, but I think I think we shouldn't. I don't think we should loathe all the terrible experiences or the difficult experiences that we often learn through life because they make us who we are. So, as we enter this new year, I think it's so important for us to ask ourselves, what is success for us? What is the real goal with what we're trying to do? Is it to achieve accolades or titles or monetary value or physical materials? Or is it actually about experiencing life and learning more and more about ourselves? Anyways, loves, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a while, but I'm back. I promise I'm back. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments or just want to share anything, comment section is below. I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.